About 10 days ago, I released a video on OLIFE's first anniversary sale, and that's where they introduced this wallet here. This is the OLIFE leather and aluminum wallet. And I said during that video that I was extremely surprised that OLIFE released a wallet. And I carried this a few days before I made that video and ever since I made that video. So I think that's long enough to form an opinion on this wallet. So do I still feel the same way about it as I did 10 days ago? Let's check it out. And here's the box that the OLIFE leather and aluminum wallet came from. The official name is the OLIFE aluminum chassis leather wallet. But as you can see, nothing too special in the box. Let me put that off to the side. And I'll give you guys a nice close-up of the OLIFE wallet right here. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. The OLIFE wallet is a leather/aluminum hybrid bifold that can hold up to 14 cards or folded cash in its 4 leather pockets or aluminum chassis. The chassis is made from an anodized 6063 aluminum, and the bifold's made from oil tan leather. And hopefully you like this nut brown color that you see right here, because as of right now, it's the only color it's available in. And as you can see here, everything is machine stitched. It features RFID blocking, lanyard holes on each side of the frame, and a 2-year warranty. All right, let's talk dimensions. It comes in at 3.9 inches by 2.9 inches. And according to my weight test, it comes in at 2.7 ounces. That's 76 grams. So this is usually where I talk about the quality of the wallet, but I think I'm going to start with the design here because I want to address the elephant in the room that the OLIFE wallet took a lot of inspiration from Dango. Actually, when I first took this out of the box, that's the first thought that came to my head, especially just seeing this back here. It looks a lot like a Dango M1 bifold. And you can say it took some inspiration from Travax as well, because Dango and Travax are best known for leather and aluminum hybrid wallets. There are other companies out there that do a hybrid wallet, but Dango and Travax are best known for that. So first off, let me bring in the Dango M1s that I have right here. This is the Dango M1 Lite bifold, and this is the Dango M1 Spec Ops bifold. And if I hold up the back, you can see they definitely took inspiration from this design. So if I open up the M1 Lite bifold and the OLIFE wallet, you can see the fasteners are on the same part of the wallet, and I'll show you the inside here. So the chassis is in the same location and the ID window is in the exact same location. And now let's take a look at the Spec Ops bifold next to the OLIFE wallet. And now let's take a look at the back of the M1 Spec Ops versus the OLIFE wallet here. Now, I don't disagree that the OLIFE wallet right here took a lot of inspiration from these M1 bifolds. But you can see that they changed the OLIFE wallet just enough where it's not an exact replica. It's definitely not a clone, it's just greatly inspired by this design. And you can sort of see with the M1 Lite in the rail system and the Spec Ops with this sliding plate, they almost just combine those two to create this aluminum chassis. Even the thumb notch right here on the bottom of the OLIFE wallet looks very similar to the notch on the M1 Spec Ops. Little things like the attachment points are right there at the top of the aluminum frame, and that's exactly the same spot the OLIFE put their attachment points. But you guys see where I'm going with this. Obviously, they don't have the MT-01 multi-tool as a clasp. They gave us a button snap right there on the bottom. 2 pockets on the front of the M1 wallet versus 1 pocket on the OLIFE wallet. And if you turn it around, 2 pockets on the OLIFE wallet versus 1 on the M1. So I just figured I'd address this because I know that's what everyone's gonna say, and believe me guys, that's the first thing I saw when I took this out of the box. But in my opinion, yes, it is inspired by the M1 wallet, but it's not an exact replica. As I already showed you, it features 4 pockets and this aluminum 6063 aluminum chassis. And the leather bifold is attached to that aluminum chassis with these stainless steel screws. And then everything is held shut with not a clasp, but a button snap. Now let's take a look at this aluminum chassis here. This can hold up to 5 cards or up to 6 if you have thinner cards. And unlike the aluminum chassis on the Dango M1, it doesn't have little arms that hold the cards into place. This has little silicone bumpers right here. And those silicone bumpers are on each side of the wallet about 1 inch down. Right there you can see the one, and right there on the other side. And yes, I do like the fact that they have these attachment points on the side of that chassis. And the 2 card pockets on the back, I do like. I put my most used credit card right here, and I put some cash right here in this pocket. Now, I'll talk about its cash carrying capabilities when I get to the card test a little bit later on as well. But I can tell you that it's not my most favorite cash carrying solution. And the last thing I want to talk about with the design is the large logo right here on the front of the wallet. It sort of looks like the OLIFE logo, and I've said this 1,000 times, I'm not the biggest fan of that logo. Yet they decided to put it very large on the front of this wallet. So that to me is a knock on this wallet. I don't like that big oversized logo on the front of the wallet. If they would have kept it just right here on the inside, the OLIFE logo right there on the inside, I would like it a lot more. But instead, they double branded it. So that's another mark against the OLIFE wallet. Now, of course, this is just my opinion. A lot of you guys don't really mind branding on wallets. But for me, I don't like a lot of branding on my wallet. So that's a no-no. All right, so now let's talk about the quality. And overall, I really like the feel of this wallet. This leather feels great. This is an oil tanned leather. And oil tan leathers are generally a little bit softer than vegetable tan leathers. That's because it starts out as a chrome tan leather, and then they add the oil and waxes to it after the fact. So it feels very nice. And if I get in real close there, you can see that nice grain on that leather. I like it. The only problem is I'm not 100% sure of the grade of leather here. My first instinct is that this is a full grain leather, but I can't find any information online about it. And the only reason I don't think it's a top grain leather is because you can clearly see that grain right there on the top of that leather. And that's another thing I'm going to complain about every single time I do a leather wallet review or anything made of leather is I want to know the grade of leather, the type of leather, and where it's sourced from. If you're selling a leather product, I want complete and total transparency. That means every single bit of information on your website. I shouldn't have to scour the internet for information on what this is made of. But at least they claim it's oil tan leather and 6063 anodized aluminum. And I know that these are stainless steel screws back here holding that bifold on. So from a leather standpoint, it passes, except for the smell test. 1 second, let's do a smell test. And yeah, this actually smells pretty good. So a 100% passes the smell test. Now let's talk about this machine stitching. A machine stitch is pretty strong, but it doesn't hold a candle to a hand stitch. So I'm going to put this in the con category that it's a machine stitch. Now there is a 2-year warranty on this wallet, but in my opinion, if you're selling a wallet that has a machine stitch, you have to offer a lifetime warranty on that stitching. And now let's take a look at these edges here. I'm not the biggest fan of the edges on the OLIFE wallet here. It almost looks like they're not burnished at all. And if I get in real close there, you can see what I'm talking about. It doesn't look like these edges are burnished at all. All right, now let's do the cash and card test. So I already loaded this wallet with 8 cards and 3 bills. Not the full card capacity, which OLIFE claims 14 cards, but I'm gonna show you this way first. So my most used credit card right here in the front or right here in the back. Either way is good. I like this little cutout right here. I can easily grab my card, as you can see from the front, or the thumb notch right there on the bottom. Just push up that card on the back. Very functional. On the inside here, I put my driver's license and then 5 cards right here in the aluminum chassis. And I really like the functionality of this aluminum chassis right here. Those silicone bumpers work very well here. With 5 cards in there, let's do a shake test. And all right, well, I got 1 loose right there, but I was shaking pretty hard there. Let's do a lighter shake, see what happens. And there you go. So in a real world situation, you're not gonna have any issues with these cards falling out at all. And now let me try just 1 card. 1 card right there. And yeah, 1 card. It's still gonna hold on to it, but you can see it moves around pretty freely. But that's the nice thing about this design here is once this bifold is snapped up, those cards can't go anywhere anyways. But I just wanted to show you how those silicone bumpers held those cards into place. So overall, I really like the functionality of this wallet, but let me show you the cash carrying capabilities here. Those are only 3 bills folded into quarters. And Like I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of this cash carrying solution right here on this wallet. I don't like having to fold my bills into quarters and stuff them in that little pocket on the back. And realistically, that's the only place on this wallet where you can carry cash, is right there in that pocket. The only other thing that you could do, which is pretty silly, but you could fold your bills into half like this, fold up the bifold, and then snap it up. And technically you could carry your bills this way. I just don't recommend it, and that's not the intended use of this wallet. And right now, what is it getting stuck on? There we go. It was getting stuck on something in there, but once again, you could carry your bills like this. It's not intended to work that way. One thing I do like is this extra key pocket right here in the back. So if you're forgetful like me and want to carry a spare house key around with you, that is a nice little pocket for an extra key. This is a quick set key right here. It is a real key. It's just uncut. And the pocket looks almost to be a little bit too big for this quick set key, because technically I could keep pushing it all the way down, but then you have all of that key exposed right there. So I would much rather have this key pocket right here cut a little more narrow on the top, just so it would catch the very top right there and snag right about midway. But as of right now, if you have keys of this style, it'll sink all the way to the bottom and have all that key exposed just like that. So OBI says that this can hold up to 14 cards, and the only way this is going to hold 14 cards is if you double stack each of these card pockets, including the cash pocket here. I don't really like double stacking card pockets. I think it messes with the functionality. I'd rather have a much easier card to get out of my wallet and put it back in than to be able to hold more cards. That's just me. This is 8 cards right here, and for most people, that's gonna be plenty. But if you absolutely have to carry 14 cards in here, it's gonna be 5 here in the aluminum chassis, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And even that's only going to be 13 cards. So I figured they came up with the 14 card number because they were using thinner cards right here for the chassis, so you can fit 6 cards there. Or you have to triple stack each one of the pockets, leave the cash pocket open for cash, and still have 5 cards in the aluminum chassis. Either one of those scenarios I think is ridiculous. I don't want to double or triple stack my cards. So 8 cards, in my opinion, is the max here. Plus 1 to 5 bills folded into quarters fits very nicely in this pocket. All right, let's quickly go over the pros and cons of the OLIFE wallet here. One pro is the price. This is only $39.99, basically 40 bucks. So for the oil tan leather, the 6063 aluminum chassis can possibly hold up to 14 cards, even though I say 8 and some cash. I think that's a pretty darn good deal. Another pro here is the design. Even though it's heavily borrowed from a Dango M1 bifold, I still really like this design, and I think it's highly functional. And even though the aluminum chassis failed the shake test, I still like this aluminum chassis with those silicone bumpers. And the last pro here is I really like the look and feel of this oil tan leather. All right, so what are some cons here? Well, the first con is I don't like the branding on the front of the wallet. I actually don't like the fact that it's branded in 2 spots, but I especially don't like the branding right here on the front. Another con here is I don't like its cash carrying capabilities with the cash pocket on the back. Another small con is, as of right now, it's only available in this one color. As much as I like this color combination, I would like to see more variety in the future. Maybe a black on black version, or even this nut brown on a black aluminum chassis, just some variety. The next con is it's machine stitched and it's not hand stitched. And I already mentioned this, it seems like there is 0 burnishing on this wallet. Obviously that doesn't affect the functionality, but for me, it affects the overall quality and perception of the wallet. And my last con, which I didn't even talk about during the video, but if you only have 1 card a piece in these pockets, there is a lot of play with this bifold. You can see I can pull that bifold pretty far just because there's a lot of play on this strap right here. Maybe they did this because they figure if you carry 14 cards, you would have to either double or triple stack these cards here. But even so, I don't think you need all this play in this bifold. So I would like to see the play here tidied up a bit on a version 2 if there's ever a version 2. So the question is, do I recommend this wallet? And I'm gonna have to say, no, I don't recommend the OLIFE wallet. Even though I like the overall quality and feel of the OLIFE wallet, it just borrows too much from a Dango M1 bifold. I might as well just go carry my M1 bifold. There's no reason to have this wallet, especially if you already own one. There's really no reason to carry this at all. So my final verdict is, even though I do like the quality and feel here, I just feel like it borrows too much from Dango and I can't recommend it. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the OLIFE leather and aluminum wallet? Now, if you want to check this out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!